Greetings, fellow orbiting pilgrims. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim ship. Episode 16, Mining an Asteroid for Vacstone. Okay, we're almost done hauling everything. Got, I want to get a little bit more wood so that we can keep the fire on. But let's go ahead and stop the chunk hauling. Now, the ship zone is not up to date. That's something that is definitely out of date. So let me update ship zone. And the ship zone, I'm actually going to rename to be vacuum safe. Because there's two different ship zones. There's one that's like you're safe from manhunters or whatever, and then there's another which is you're safe from vacuum. So this is going to be the vacuum safe zone. Basically, you won't suffocate if you're here within the walls or whatever. Because I am about to head to space, so vacuum safe is a thing. And then Pedaling is going to need to move his bed because we're going to have a fabrication bench here. Probably with tool cabinets once I have the steel. I don't really have the steel right now, but that will be benched at some point. Are we... I think we're good to go. So, everybody in the vacuum safe zone. Liara to the controls. And up to the Quatre satellite. How many oxygen things we have? Do we need? We're fine. No problem at all. So this is a really good example of why I wanted the valid path, as I did. No one could get in from the front door if I didn't have that, like, walkway. So it really is only helpful in the isolated incidences that we're, like, landing in space, like this. But this also allows us to use our kill box effectively just about anywhere we want to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park here, confirm landing, and they have some gravelite panels. They have a mech wreck, and then of course the Vacstone that we're at. And we'll be here a while because it overheated. All right, I like this design as well. One of the things is like your connected circuits will get changed like every time you land. So flick is something that you'll have to do on the regular. And then thinking about going outside, Aram, you grab gear. Atla's already ready for vac. I'm gonna want to move these ancient mining charges because they like pose a threat. And Liara's already ready for vac, so Liara and Atla, you're good to go. Aram, you are good to go. I think what I want to do is... This isn't a fabrication room yet. What I'll do is I will put the stone cutter in here, and then fill this room with Vacstone with my haulers. Can raiders drop inside your ship? They sure can. So how's my power? We are using a bit too much power right now. Where's the jade? Ah, I see jade there. So your vac resistance is 99. That's close enough to 100. Didn't really matter. Aram, here is your task. Get us some Vacstone, my friend. And Liara will cast some light for you to make it easier. And then all the chunks will be hauled in to here, allowing us to cut them. Which means, Breakfire, you are also going to need a suit and helmet so that you can move about the outside. You're already wearing a helmet, so you just need the suit. Mag and pedaling will be responsible for cutting stone. So if you take a look, my ship is vacuum safe. In fact, interestingly, because we haven't opened the doors, these are technically vacuum safe. Didn't intend for it to be, but sure. We can also roof up this here to better insulate the ship. One of the other things I wanted to do was to change... I'm going to change my kitchen, but like... You know, I think what I'll do is I'm going to make it wider. I'm going to get rid of these here because they're unnecessary and make it wider and then change it a little bit. And this is, so the purpose of this, if you're wondering, is eventually when we want to use this kill box, this door has to be left open. Because if this door is open, they're just going to attack anywhere. I'm not leading them through the kill box. So keep it in mind, I should probably open that kill box now. Now, there's no animals in space. That would be pretty interesting, but there's no animals in space, so leaving this door open is fine. But what I want to do is I want to design a kitchen which keeps all of our food inside the core of the kitchen so that animals can't get to it. So that's what this changes for. And I think I'm gonna make it even wider. Yeah, there's no space hamsters, I know, right? Alright, so as far as sterile tiles go... Expand that. And let's bring these panels and the mechanoid chunk in. There are transport pods, but don't really care about those. So yeah, everything of value has been addressed now. Does solar pinhole get affected by vacuum? No. So it generates heat, but if it's not enclosed, it doesn't really matter. Would a ground pen scanner work on an asteroid? I don't believe so. Don't quote me, I haven't tried it, but I don't believe there's like ground. There's also not overhead mountain. That was another question that people had. Are there bugs in space? There's no mountains in space. So there's nowhere for bugs to spawn. Plus, even if there were, it's too warm. It's, you know, or it's too cold rather. It's not warm enough for them to spawn, so that's also not a threat. Alright, my power usage is rather high. I'm sure it's heaters. Just trying their best. Keeping the ship warm. I can always keep an eye on that. Alright, there we go. So now we have a kitchen, once this auto door is done. And wooden auto door is fine. Now we have a kitchen that all of the things with nutrient value are locked away from would-be animals that could eat it. Cool. And that way we can leave this door open. And I think there's some other things that have nutrient value that haven't been put in here. So let's look. Beer. What else besides beer has nutrient value? Does yayo and flake have nutrient value? I forget. I know beer does. I know beer has a tiny bit of nutrition, which is why animals will like drink to get to harm themselves, because it has 0.08 nutrition. The seeds don't have any nutrition. These seeds are not edible. Ambrosia's already in the freezer. It should be, because, you know, it needs to be frozen. It's just that beer doesn't need to be cold, but because it has a nutritional value, it should be stored in there. Do we have any flake? Or yayo? We have yayo. Does yayo have nutrition value? Because anything, no, it doesn't have nutrition value. Anything with nutritional value will be eaten by wild animals, and it will be luring wild animals into the ship. So that's why I want to, like, corral everything that could possibly be a desired. Packaged survival meals. Yep, that also needs to go in here. And likewise, not anywhere else. Because the inverse needs to be true. Because otherwise, we'll end up with, like, a bunch of wild critters flooding. And then, I totally forgot that, we need to turn on the Make Vacstone. Dye does not have nutritional value. Nor does, like, medicines. There's a tiny cave here. Yeah, there is. Tiny would be the correct word. We'll add the 2 gens I destroyed? Probably not. The idea is to use more grav power cells rather than to rely on chem fuel, because chem fuel should be used as rocket fuel, not power generation. So I hadn't planned on it. One other thing that I could do to warm the ship is this. Solar pinhole, solar pinhole, solar pinhole, solar pinhole, solar pinhole. There we go. Ship will be nice and toasty now. Solar pinholes produce heat. And that puts less pressure on our system. So you can probably see if there was an asteroid underneath me here, getting access to these turrets would need a valid walkway. So that's the reason for this valid walkway. Plus, you know, there's sandbags or whatever. But the purpose of the valid walkway is so that it's a lot easier to be able to gain access to these in case we need to repair, replace components, reload, etc. So that's what that's about. Question for you guys. Now that we're getting the Vacstone, we could go over to the ruins of the Zephyrus Skygate, which is 10 days left. It's a space ruin, which could have treasure. There are a grav core over here, mech platform. Now, the thing is, I don't know how easy it's going to be to install. Well, what it could do is, with a little bit of the gravlight panels I have, I could install the large engines outside and then just move them to the back of the ship. The back of the ship right now is not accessible. But I could hook up the engines here and then, like, move them to a more intelligent spot later on. So where to next will be the space ruins towards grav. So there's grav core. There should be 3 grav cores up right now. Yeah, there's one here. No, there's only 2, the terraformer and the mech platform. So where to go next? Space. What is that called? Station debris? Technically? What is this? Orbit wreckage. Grav core. Other. Other would just be like my choice, if you don't like the 2 choices that I've provided so far. And speaking of which, although it will look dumb, I don't really care if it looks dumb. I'm gonna set up my engines. I'll focus on these first. You know, I could even have it look more dumb and have them, like, point at each other or something. It's really not a big deal. Alright, you don't need to worry about getting maxed. Just work on jump packs. Oh, there's another ancient complex. Well, that would be another. I think what to do to add heat to the bedrooms, I'm just going to use Psycasts. And I'm going to turn off the heaters. And that will save power. So now we're in the power positive. Arm is nearly done deconstructing this. And then he will be tasked getting the jade. Here's the temperature overlay. So it's a little bit colder in the throne room. But all in all, it's fine. Oh, there was a mining charge in there. Does it move with the ship? It probably should. I don't know if it does, but if it's coded correctly, I think it ought to. Alright, RM. New task. I could put the engine inside the kill box. They are at a bit of a risk there. There's better ways to do it, in my opinion. Mag, let's get you a suit because I have construction tasks and nobody's currently working on them. Oh, of course you take the unlit path. Okay, well, yeah, whatever. Alright, all the jade is mined. RM, you're supposed to actually haul it. And you guys clearly want me to go to the orbital wreckage. Got it. Oh, I didn't realize Breakfire was zone restricted. That explains a lot. So I could even have the other large thrusters. I could put them like here, like that. You know, the game really doesn't care. I could also put them here, potentially. It's not a terrible spot for them, because I think I'll have enough Gravilite panels to make that happen. Not 100% sure. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I should, because I have 18 that has been unhauled. Oh, that one won't work. Let's try this like that. Can you put what in the throne room? Yeah, now we have a pod racer. Indeed. Can you put reactions stuff in the throne room? Recreation stuff? You could. Yeah, you could put recreation stuff in the throne room. So, in terms of throne room, in terms of the requirements, you can always check out here. So this is... Throne room requirements does not allow work facilities, beds, or altars, but dining is fine. So we could eventually make this where we eat, which I don't think is unreasonable. It's not far from the kitchen. So that's definitely a possibility. I don't even think I'm going to have enough steel for 6 large engines, so I think we're going to have to settle for 4 large engines and call that good. Ooh, you know what I just realized? Removing the floor is a little weird because it will also remove the graphite panels. I don't know if I can remove the... I think what I have to do is, like, maybe I'll put concrete down? That's something that's a little strange, right? Because, like... Oh, no, remove floor should work. Oh, what I'll do is I'll experiment. Let's do a remove floor here and see... Okay, that did work. Cool. I want to remove the floor because I don't necessarily want the floor underneath there. But I didn't want to remove the substructure. That would be a lot worse. So it looks like we are nearly done with our larger engines. I've got 21 panels left. So there is 12 of the 21. I wouldn't mind these doors being auto doors at some point. Just for convenience. And we'll start jading this up. I'm also going to want to replace the columns from Marble to Jade as well. But the idea is to drive this towards Impressiveness 160. And I think the most effective walls to replace are going to be these. Because these walls also border the, they border the center of the ship, so it will make the center of the ship nicer too. The current impressiveness is 152, so we're really close. And if we had a nicer harpsichord and a piano and all that, we would be... Oh, you know what? Leave one intact for now, because I don't really want the ceiling coming... Oh, well, no, we have columns. Never mind. Because that's not really a big deal. Columns aren't strictly ornamental. That's easy to forget. Alright, we are... Nope, it's not enclosed yet. 156. Yeah, we're really, really close. Is this the purple light? I don't even know. We installed a bunch of lights, but I'm not sure which are which. I'll move them around if they need it. Nope, that's the purple one. Alright, what's, why are they not removing the floors? Because they're not assigned to construction. Alright, well, we can wait. But yeah, basically, we've nearly hit our, impressiveness. I think what I'm going to do, because I'm essentially out of jade, is I'm not going to, do those floors right now. What I'm going to do is, because we have only 42 jade left, I'll build 2 jade columns. Maybe... back there. Because the Archon room requires 6 columns, so I might as well get the remaining jade invested in that. Oh, that's incorrect. Try again. Power's getting low? I know. We're in power positive now. It's being addressed. And once we finish these gravelite panels, we are all set to launch. I've got plenty of Vacstone left for the remaining engines that we want, but I don't have the steel. Yeah, I'm already one step ahead. The thing is, like, that's often true. And, like, y'all can chill a lot more than you do. I mean, it's not I'm infallible or anything, but I am told about problems after I have already fixed them pretty frequently, to be fair. Now, if we are heading to a platform that has like a combat platform, I'm gonna want RM to take off his vac suit and put that on Peddling Fire, because Peddling Fire should be the one to have the you know, armor in this next fight. Which means he needs to be vacuum safe restricted, and then pedaling can be unrestricted. Okay, I will update the home zone, and then we'll head to the debris. The orbital wreckage. The home zone looks correct. The vacuum safe looks correct. I think we're good to launch. Oh, except for we have a lot more cooldown. Okay. I hadn't realized how much longer, because we did have overheated. Arum, you are going to get us a lot more Vacstone. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to... because I know that eventually we're going to want a luxurious bedroom. I'll consider making the ideology room and her bedroom morbid Vacstone. I mean, she is a ship lady of the stars, right? So essentially, the backstory of Liara is she is a ship lady, shipbound lady. So she is like a ship mistress, and I don't think she would mind a fine Vacstone floored bedroom. And that gives us like a reason to keep producing vac blocks for the next 4 days. I'm kind of stuck here, in other words. But it's also a good time to drill through some of the research that I've yet to grab, so I'm going to do that as well. And then the marble that we're liberating from here can go to the shelving that we lack. So the current priority is floor up the ship and head to the wreckage. The beauty of fine floors is the same. All fine floors are fine. So the quality of the material that you use to make fine floors doesn't matter. In other words, sandstone, slate, limestone doesn't matter. It's all the same. And now the shelves that we were missing are able to be added. I do like the idea of dining in here, so I'm going to work towards that end. I'm really going to make it so that she, like, sits on our throne commanding the ship, because, like, why not? That's just so very Empress. I don't know if these new tables are going to be an issue for throne room impressiveness, because it is becoming a smaller room, but we can always fix that with like better art, etc. The shield generators do delete the solar panels, yeah, but I wanted to actually move them a little bit so they have better coverage. So this is the coverage that I wanted. I think this is actually maybe one up is even better. I don't care what the local settlement is called, so Atwick is fine. Okay, so everybody in the back row of shooters here will be covered by the gens. Nice. I like how my slave has a shooting inspiration. Super helpful. And this is now at 159. It is real close. A hell of a good room to recreate in. So once we get like a better harpsichord and a piano, I think we'll easily hit the goal of being 160. And I'd want to be over 160 so that it's not like a little bit of filth from like a bestower trudging in mud from outside is going to like ruin our ship. So there's obviously room for improvement. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off some of these extra heaters so we have more power positive so we charge up our batteries, and then we'll just have the colonists bathe in the warmth that is Liara. The reason I don't have billiards or poker yet is they take up a remarkable amount of space. So they're a really expensive thing to add. That's why I've left them out. So we're here for 3 more days. Man, we really are like marooned up here. I'm glad I was sitting on a pretty decent amount of food. So I think I'm going to change the lavish meals to be fine meals just to stretch the food a little bit. And I'm going to keep that forbidden until we need them. Because we have a decent amount of potatoes and some berries. And I can use that. Does aesthetic help with the row rooms? No. So the requirements for rooms are title bound. They're not personality bound. Ooh, her bedroom is getting real nice. And then I'm also tiling up the barracks, make it a little nicer. It's not nice, but nicer. And then any of the extra Vacstone, because we are kind of marooned here, can go to fixing up other areas of the ship. Another orbital platform. Alright. So there's something up here in orbit. Yep, there it is. A mech platform and an orbital platform. Decent. Eat with a table. You'll be happier. This is definitely turning into a battleship. It actually, there's a... So anyone that has played Star Sector kind of knows this looks like a conquest, doesn't it? Now look at it. It really does look like a conquest ship. It's totally accidental. Cargo pods, interesting. Oh, space drugs. Nice. Alright, Liara's room is officially very impressive. And then all this extra Vacstone, I was intending to just... You know what? I don't really need to tile up the rest of the rooms. The quality of the other rooms doesn't really matter. So what we could actually do here is to turn this Vacstone into art. Liara does have a passion in art. So give her an art bench. And let her try to make better art for her throne room. Because it's something she wants to do. Alright, 1.5 more days here. Arm's like, hey, by then, there won't be any asteroid left. He's doing a pretty good job of just, like, hollowing out this asteroid. Mag, what are you doing? What? Yo, you could be making this art bench for your dear mistress, and you're not? The first thing we want to make is probably the Pilgrim form. So the Pilgrim form is our ideological art that we want in our ideology room. So, Lara's first task. And if she's working on art, I can then turn off the multi-analyzer and the research bench, saving a lot of power. So I do have a concern now. Speaking out loud, because I didn't realize how long I'd be marooned for. If I head to the Sky Gate here, I have to whip through this quickly. Because, we do have dwindling food supply. So, I'm not going to say, like, no. But I think we might want to change where we're headed to. So, I'm going to have you guys vote. Because an orbital wreckage site is really not going to have food. It might have a few packaged survival meals here or there, but that's not necessarily going to satisfy Liara. We can still do it. I think we could manage it. We could stretch her food or something, but it's maybe not an ideal location anymore, given the length of us being stranded up here. Arm is nearly done with this one, too. Just have him keep going. And if you're wondering why I'm digging out 11 by 11s, just so it doesn't come crashing down on my head. 11 by 11 is the largest something can go without a column. Ooh, if that's the last of our meat, Actually, we have a lot of we have a lot of lavish meals left, so I'm actually not that worried. I am very surprised that I've been left alone, though. I would have expected by now that there would have been, like, people trying to murder me. But nope. Apparently not. I kind of want, like, a fun chain reaction explosion. So, while my people are, like, hanging out not doing very much, let's line up some bombs and have them go boom. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim ship, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow pilgrims of Liara.